Askreddit asks, if historical figures actually did roll in their graves, which grave would generate the most power if hooked up to a generator?
If Sir Isaac Newton knew that we were suggesting that a body at rest could spontaneously generate motion without being acted on by an external force, he'd start spinning in his grave.
Which would make him spin faster as we generate free energy. It's perfect.
Well, shit, this is the best comment I've read in a long time. Well done.
I'm embarrassed. I don't get it. Can someone fill me in?
Washington would be doing somersaults at that two-party system.
This was my first thought as well. Every single time there's any election, anywhere in the country, he'd be spinning like a pig on a barbecue spit.
True, but the two-party system emerged during his lifetime and he even picked a side.
My first thesis college paper was on why America should abolish political parties. George Washington knew.
Tesla, but only because he'd be into it.
Good thing spinning generates AC.
Yep. His dream was always to see his name on mildly innovative consumer products with very effective branding. Damn that Edison and his devil current.
I wonder how Mao Zedong would feel. BC China is this strange hybrid with state-led capitalism with billionaires but has risen to become the third superpower.
I would say they are more powerful than Russia at this point.
Third superpower. Who's the second?
1. Put grave generator on Karl Marx's grave. 2. Acquire energy from his spinning. 3. Use energy to power business, factories, shopping malls, etc. 4. Due to being literally used to power capitalism, Karl will spin faster. 5. When he spins faster, he produces more energy, helping capitalism even more, creating a positive feedback loop. 6. Achieve an exponentially growing infinite energy source.
First that comes to mind is Andrew Jackson's face being printed on money when he presides over the war against Bank CDIT. Finally, something to eclipse my Iceland comment. Thanks Reddit. Good one, especially since it's a Federal Reserve note and the Federal Reserve replaced the Bank of the United States that he killed.
Chicago Federal Reserve Bank is on Jackson Boulevard.
Kurt Cobain's. The number of Hot Topic t-shirts and Tumblr quotes attributed to him that he didn't even actually say are probably making it hard for him to rest in peace.
Similarly, Che Guevara, communist, yet millions of shirts with his face are sold. In the name of capitalism.
Don't believe everything you read on the internet. Kurt Cobain, 2019.
Don't forget his Funko Pop doll.
Hitler. He would be horrified at the kind of societies Germany and Northern Europe have become.
Perfect. Supplying electricity to those people would make him spin even faster.
He'd also probably be horrified by current-day Nazis. They're definitely not who he had in mind.
URL redacted.
Walt Disney would throw an eternal dance party if he learned how much power his company has.
I came here to see this answer. But for the complete opposite reason. Walt was about innovation and putting on the most incredible show he could. Damn the cost. Roy kept Walt in check and made sure they could pay for the things he wanted to do. Today's Disney is all Roy and no Walt, and it's a damn shame. Walt needed Roy, no doubt, but there is no Disney without Walt. And Roy knew that. That's why after Walt's death, Roy insisted the resort be named Walt Disney World, instead of just Disney World a la Disneyland.
Probably Che Guevara. What the hell are you wearing? Exclamation mark. A sweatshop-made shirt by a global multinational that funnels money into capitalist governmental control. Featuring my face? Exclamation mark. Quote dot.
I mean, you have to pay to see Karl Marx's tomb, so yeah. Quite ironic.
This is delicious irony. Admittedly, you're paying for the upkeep of the cemetery. But it's still funny. I'd have to go with Richard Dawkins. I'm not dead. I'm not dead. Let me out of here.
Dude, I really thought he died after reading the first line and felt bad that I didn't hear about it.
I don't understand why I laughed so heartily at this. I imagine someone who choked to death swallowing magnets and was buried in a copper wire-wrapped coffin.
That would be how you get someone to roll over in their grave without the magic of contradicting their life's work.
George Washington. For sure. He very explicitly didn't want a two-party system. And now it's like a damn football game, it's only about the labels. Not the policies or morals.
Hitler did nothing wrong.
The most common names on this thread seem to be Marx, Che, Hitler, each of them misquoted and/or idolized by their worst enemies. There is some honor in that. But what about the bloke who fell prey to teenage edgelords? Nietzsche. Edit. Thanks for all the karma. Guys and goddesses. This comment is worth more than all my posts together.
Also, his sister edited his works after he does to make them align better with the Nazis. Ataturk.
Considering every time Erdo does some controversial shit, the top comment is always about generating power from Ataturk. I am a bit surprised this isn't the top comment here.
Ataturk.
Can someone elaborate on why he'd be rolling in his grave?
George Orwell. If he knew about the amount of surveillance and data collection in our society, he'd be throwing wheels of cheese at us and screaming, "I warned you."
I find it weird how everyone always compares our society to 1984 when it isn't even close. Yet Aldous Huxley's novel Brave New World is pretty much a spitting image of Western society and nobody really references it.
Erwin Schrödinger would both roll in his grave and lay still at the same time. Until observed. IIRC, his famous cat was an example of how stupid the concept of superpositions is. Now everyone attributes the discovery of that part of quantum physics to him. Either that or he's rolling in his grave because of this comment.
It was less of him saying that superposition is dumb and more of him saying that it can't be applied to macro objects.
Martin Luther. He was so against the ritualistic legalism of the Catholic Church. Now the Lutheran Church is almost as full of rituals as the Catholic Church.
Am Lutheran, also full of a bunch of legalese schisms over petty shit that doesn't matter.
My racist grandpa. We rented his old house out to a black family. Debating whether to install a tachometer on his headstone.
Debating whether to install a tachometer on his headstone. I'm borrowing that.
Best use of the word tachometer. Probably ever.
Edward Jenner, creator of the first vaccine, smallpox. Every time a kid gets measles, or mumps, or chicken pox, or rubella.
Sam Walton. Dude started Walmart as an American store with only items made in America. He'd probably dig a hole to the factories that make his product. Don't forget his kids. Sam was a humble man who kept driving his old pickup. The younger Waltons are practically the definition of rich jerks.
Probably one of those guys that went over Niagara Falls in a barrel. Especially one of the guys that were never found.
This guy barrel rolls.
Oh, you motherfucker.
Lol. Great question. That Boondocks episode where he comes back demonstrates how he would feel very well. Yeah, but surely he would have enjoyed one of his speeches. One in which he rails against advertisers being used to sell Dodge Ram trucks during the Super Bowl.
Charles Darwin. The guy started the ball rolling. But geez, people still use Darwinism as a pejorative like he pioneered genome mapping that proves evolution. 2. Every time someone says, "I didn't come from no monkey," Chucky Boy takes another spin.
Don't forget social Darwinism misusing his theory.
President Eisenhower and how much he warned against the military-industrial complex.
Which is remarkable considering how he got to the presidency. A man made by the military-industrial complex warning against the military-industrial complex is profoundly telling.
He was made by the military, not the military-industrial complex.
Jesus Christ.
But his grave is empty. D.
How much of a hippie was he that he couldn't even hold down a job in his grave?
Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to support the channel, and above all, have an excellent day you wonderful people.